A couple weeks back, I uploaded a video that showcased new segments which would be coming to the channel in the near future. Well, the future is now, and the first segment to make its way into the spotlight is one that I think you guys will enjoy, that being This Month in Monster Taming. This will act as sort of a recap of what's to come for any individual month, and will be sort of formatted like our Monster Tamer news segment, in that it'll sort of go over all major developments that are up and coming in the genre. This includes upcoming releases, Kickstarters, major updates, etc. Anyways, that said, if I do miss anything, please let me know in the comments. I want this video to sort of act as a resource for members of the community to know what exactly is going to happen for any given month, so that'll be extremely helpful. Housekeeping aside, this month we actually have quite a few interesting developments, including the releases of games like Nuumonsters and Geneforge 1 Mutagen, some big content updates in the form of Siralim, the xenoscape demo, and Monster Sanctuary, and towards the end of the segment we'll go over stuff that's not necessarily confirmed for this month, but have a very high probability of surprising us. So yeah, take a seat, relax, and let's dive right in. So I'm going to do my best to keep everything chronological, however do keep in mind that we don't have exact dates for everything, so this may not be exactly in order of what comes out. First up, we got the release of Nuumonsters, a GBC Pokemon-inspired monster tamer that was actually slated for release in January, but unfortunately was delayed due to issues currently plaguing the Steam verification process. The developer over at Nyanko has stated that they are trying to get their game out in demo format on itch as soon as possible so people can sort of get a feel for the game, so I am expecting it to be available any day. If you do want to learn more information, I did do a Monster Tamer showcase featuring the game, so definitely feel free to check it out. The Nexomon Extinction custom mode update for consoles is still currently pending. This mode allows for a wide variety of customization options for your playthrough, whether it be randomizing all encounters, axing the level cap, permadeath, etc. This mode is already available for Steam users, however, consoles generally take time to verify each patch, so expect Xbox and PS4 to get it about a week sooner than the Switch version. Our first piece of content with an actual concrete date is the Xenoscape demo, which is a monster taming bullet hell. It'll be available on February 5th on itch. The demo, of course, will be free, and I do personally look forward to checking it out, especially since I haven't had a chance to play the game just yet, and I'd love to expand my knowledge of both the general gameplay experience and its inner workings. On February 9th, we will have the Skyclimbers Kickstarter, which is a procedurally generated open world survival and monster taming game that features a vast variety of features including kingdom building, a deep embedded story, an RTS feature, alongside tons of monsters to be tamed, evolved, and bred, and the game heavily emphasizes on player choice. Don't want to spend your time building up a kingdom? Well, guess what? You don't have to. You can instead become a nomad and traverse the land just to catch every monster. Likewise, you don't have to engross yourself or your playtime in monster taming specifically if you don't want to. It's a very interesting game to say the least, and I have actually recorded an almost 2.5-hour podcast episode with Justin, the co-founder, and I've got to say, it's more likely than not the most informative and in-depth podcast to date, but it's also very interesting. It'll be released on the same day as the Kickstarter itself, and we'll break down the Kickstarter the following day. Towards the end of the month, specifically on the 24th, we'll see the release of Geneforge 1 Mutagen, a tactical monster taming RPG that features a vast summoning system, 80 zones to explore, dozens of skills, abilities, and pets, as well as a variety of endings to the game. The game is actually a remake of the original Geneforge, and interestingly enough, there are actually 5 other Geneforge games in the series. It's kind of crazy because this game's Kickstarter came out not too long after Kindred and it went completely under my nose until more recently. We did also do a showcase for this game, so if you're interested in that, again, relevant links will be in the description. The Ova Magica Kickstarter will end on February 26th, and while this isn't necessarily a game launch or an update to an existing release game or even a Kickstarter launch, it is extremely noteworthy as the game has already, at the time of scripting this video, raised over 117,000 euros. That's out of a 20,000 euro goal, by the way, with a strong community of 1,674 backers, and it still has 23 days left in its campaign. This Kickstarter is truly a success story from humble beginnings, as Claudia, whom we had on for our Monster Taming and Chill podcast a while back, is a solo dev aspiring to create the monster taming and raising experience of her dream, meshing different subgenres together to make this pretty cute project. The sky's honestly the limit with this Kickstarter at this point, and I'm very curious to see what's in store and how much it ends up raising. we also have more stretch goals to look forward to as well. Other than that, we also do know for sure that Monster Sanctuary Content Update 1.1, which will include various difficulty settings, a New Game Plus option, better matchmaking improvements, and more, is planned for some time this month. However, we don't have an official date. Monster Sanctuary is something that honestly is a gem of a game, and if you haven't played it, I can't recommend it enough. Okay, so there are 5 more pieces of content which aren't technically confirmed for the month of February. However, there are various pieces of evidence that do suggest that the games will come out this month, at least in my opinion, of course. So first up is a Chain Monsters Alpha. During the most recent blog post in January, which was made live on the 26th, they did confirm that the closed alpha will more than likely be released in February, with some features rolling out slowly thereafter. That said, I'm actually really looking forward to this, and unfortunately, I did miss this update in Monster Tamer news, so I'm going to include that in the February 7th segment. Next up is a final content update for Siralim Ultimate before it launches in its early access phase. Now, Zach didn't specify February specifically, however, the early access launch will take place on March 12th, which does give the final content update a very decent probability of being launched either late February or early March. That said, this update will see some new specializations, new nether realms, skins, decorations, balance updates, QOL improvements, and more. A newer monster taming game that takes its monster inspiration from fairy tales is planning on having a trailer this month. However, I don't believe it is set in stone. This game is called Gremlins, and we have actually covered it in Monster Tamer news in the past, but unfortunately we don't have a whole lot of information or footage just yet. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some more though. So this next one's pretty short and to the point, but there is some credible information surrounding the potential upcoming Diamond and Pearl Pokemon games, and according to that, we should see an announcement trailer or something this month. So we'll have to wait and see. I do think that we're definitely getting something Pokemon related this month, so yeah. And finally, last but not least, is the Temtem Sipanku update. Now this update is last because it's the least concrete to be in this month specifically. Temtem likes to drop its patches with very little notice, so we won't actually know until probably the day before. This is good if you like surprises, but if you're like me and try to plan out your schedule for stuff like this, it kind of sucks. But anyways, I'm super excited for this one as it's been a while since Kisiwa dropped, and this will be the update that brings forth the digital type, aside from Koish, who isn't a true digital type, but instead has a form that can be digital type. But anyways, the original update was supposed to come in fall. However, due to COVID, amongst other things, it has been delayed. This is purely speculation, but I do think we could see it popping either February, March, or April. I'm more so leaning towards February, to be honest. So yeah, guys, that's the gist of the major developments and stuff that's probably happening this month. I've left out some of the smaller updates coming this month. However, there are still some other noteworthy happenings which will and have already been covered in Monster Tamer news, such as the Re-Legend February roadmap, which basically just focuses on polishing the already established games, and the big one for the Kindred Fates community being the tournament coming on the 27th. These aren't necessarily Kickstarters or game updates, but I figured I'd mention them here. Other than that, if I did miss anything, again, please make sure to let me know in the comments. I think I got all the major stuff, but with so many games, sometimes things can fall through the cracks, and I think our community is great in that we work together to make sure that every game gets the coverage it deserves. That being said, if you did enjoy the video, please make sure to like and subscribe for more monster taming content. You can follow me on Twitter at GymLeaderEd, and you can also check out our monster taming Discord, which is linked in the description. Until next time, peace.